kidding me?
Hey everyone, my name is Justin Carmody, and this is me sharing with you a little bit about how I nerded out this weekend and joining everyone else who has been nerding out for the weekend. Now, the last time I uploaded a video, it was participating in the Piano Day 2020 celebration where we ended up creating the Music by 300 Strangers. Now, COVID-19 had just hit when I went to go create my samples, or not my samples, but my entry for Pianobook Piano Day 2020. And I had no equipment to do any of it. And so if you go and find my submission, it's pretty humorous at best. But it was good because it went and it really stretched me out of my comfort zone quite a little bit. And here I am this weekend going and stretching myself once again. Now, I still don't have the best equipment to be doing this. This camera right here that is off of my MacBook Pro, just a webcam, that comes with it, and the quality is not very good. And this camera is just my iPhone 11 inside of a box taped to a light with a makeshift stand to try and, stand up and act as a camera. So here we are, and we'll see what happens. This is in some ways driving me a little bit nuts because I know the quality isn't as good as some people that might be uploading, but this is how you learn, and this whole process I've learned so many different things. So let me take you on a little adventure with me as I show you clips from this weekend as I set off to build this virtual instrument to share with the Pianobook community. Now, this weekend, I had a very, very small window. My lunch break, my wife and my kids were to be out running an errand, one of the rare errands they had to run during this pandemic, and I had that window of silence. And so I was able to go in and create those samples. And so I'm going to share some footage of that, which I did during the day during my lunch break on Friday. And then I'll share that evening when my kids went to bed that I came down and I sat off to try and make sense of the samples that I collected. And then at the end, I'll share some things that I learned. And I don't know, this will be fun. It'll be, like I said, we'll see how this video turns out. As I said, I've already learned so much this weekend. I don't know if my brain can quite handle any more knowledge absorption. Okay, so you can see we are actually building brand new beds for my children. And so here's half of it. We've built one. We have the other half one that's to be built. And then off over here, we have kind of our greeting room or guest room, or where people can come and stay. And this is also what we call the piano room. And gosh darn it, I'm going to sample this thing. All right, I can feel my wife getting already mad for showing that room. That room we were using is kind of a staging area for building the beds and doing some reorganization. And so in the reality, the responsible adult should not have sampled the piano and instead picked up that room. Let's see what choice I made. So let me introduce you to our King piano. This lovely piano we've had in our family for, I would say, 8-9 years. And a couple fun firsts. This is the first time I've played the piano my whole life I have ever had a upright, but also it's the first time I've ever taken the front off of one. I didn't realize you could do that until I was watching these sampling videos, and all of a sudden, hey, you can do that. And so I figured out, took off the front, and I am ready to sample. And perhaps, if there's time in the video, I will tell you the funny story about this piano, how it led to the biggest ongoing fight I had with my wife about the price of how much we were going to pay for this piano. Oh, I am so dead when I post this video. That's okay. I will tell the story. And it's because I was being silly. But yes, I will tell the story. So, a couple other things about this rig. So it's the very first time I've ever sampled any single instrument. I went and got these microphones off of Amazon for $30. I had to put weights on them because these condenser mics are too heavy. Right here we have, this is inverted, but these are baby bottle made by Blue, and these are vintage ones. These aren't the new SLs. These are back when Blue, let me get the box. Okay. This is the box it came in, Blue, Baltic Latvian Universal Electronics. So these are probably made sometime early 2000s, early 2000s, I believe, after doing my research. My dad had a small little recording setup in his house when we were growing up. And I reached out to him and said, hey, I want to try some sampling. And he sent me his microphones. He only had one shock mount, which, don't look too closely at it, it's in perilous condition. I need to buy a new one. And then a mount that's directly not a shock mount, whatever these things are called. Once again, I'm a software engineer. I'm not an audio engineer by trade. And so I have no idea how this is going to turn out. But the only way you learn is by doing. And gosh darn it, we're going to do. So pictured in that picture of my dad's studio was my dad's studio in his house. But in it was not my dad. It's Jayson Haws, a good friend of our family. And he recorded some music at my dad's studio when I was growing up. And I have very fond memories of being in that little studio and listening to them record and work on songs. And I'll probably link in the description below to some of his music because it's awesome. I still enjoy listening to it even to this day. All right, well, so you can see me right here starting to record the samples for my instrument. The funny thing is that right now, when I set up the camera, I totally did not do a very good job, and I have a box that's in the way. But like I said, I'm an amateur. It's how it goes. So during this, there was all sorts of noises happening outside that I tried to work around. Other thing that you can see is on the keys, I went and took the happy little stickers that we use for potty training my children, and that we had a chart that we would put them on, and I used those to mark the keys that I needed to in the circle of fifths, because I don't remember off the top of my head with them. So right here I'm going ahead and I'm recording the louds, if I believe correctly. If I ever messed up, I would like yell redo and do them again. But this whole thing took about 26 minutes, according to the video time. It took about 26 minutes for me to go ahead and record all this. And then I had the fun time of figuring out, okay, how do I record these release triggers without hitting the keys? And yeah, so I think overall it went pretty well. And then at the very end, I sat down and played a little bit on the piano because, I mean, who doesn't enjoy playing the piano and seeing all the hammers go? So I was able to record the samples of that King upright just in time before I heard this. That's right. My kids got home and they were totally riled up. And then I also had to go outside to go check on something in our backyard. And so my kids discovered that I had these mics set up, still recording, and had a little bit of fun, which you are hearing right now if I've done the audio video editing correctly. And they are blessed. I love my kids. They drive me nuts sometimes, but they are amazing. I see a lot of them now during quarantine. But anyway, that's not the purpose of this video. So after this, went out one day, and then about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, I was able to come back downstairs to where I'm at right now. And I'm going to show you the footage of me trying to make sense of these samples. It's already 12:30 at night on Sunday night, so I'm just going to hurry and just whip them together, and then at the end I will share my story of the upright piano and the story about how that piano caused probably the longest, not fight, but sore spot / contention / what's the word that I'm looking for? Dispute or just moment in my wife and I's marriage where it was, like I said, it was a sore spot. And it resolved really funny and well because I came out looking like a little bit of an idiot. But that'll keep you on the hook to hear that story as you watch me go through the process of making a Kontakt instrument. All right, so here's where I'm at. If you come look over here, what I have is my Logic Pro X session. I went through and recorded the soft, the loud, the release triggers. That should be RT, not RL. And then the room. And then some other stuff got, my kids came in and we recorded a few other non-important things. Well, very important, just not for this project. And then it was able to go through and rename all the regions to the different triggers, the different names. And then I was able to export them. If I come over here, Dropbox, sampling, raw samples. So I got these raw samples. Now, RX 7 Elements was on sale for $29. And I know that you can use it to denoise different things, make things sound better. And I was like, sweet, I'll just pick that up and use that to denoise my samples, because frankly, the room I was recording in, you saw pictures. I mean, it's not that awesome of a room. Very noisy, and there's stuff you could hear. Like it wasn't. There's a lot of noise in the samples. So I thought, great. I'll go ahead and do that. So I went and I have my RX7 loaded up all of my input files, like the video tutorial says to do. And then I went to go apply the thing, and I noticed on Christian's video, they used spectral denoise. Well, that does not come with RX7 Elements. And I mean, I guess that makes sense. And so that's not going to, my copy of RX7 Elements is not going to do what we needed to get done. Now, one thing I do have access to, though, is the full Creative Adobe Suite. And they have a tool called Audition, where they have some denoising. So I'm going to try that, and we'll see how that goes. Who knows? But this is how we learn. All right, guys. So here's another update. So I will be able to make this work with Adobe Audition, but it's going to be a little inefficient, and I'm seeing if I can find a way to do the batch processing, because the isotope, that's like one of its primary jobs that it does with their RX7. It was just super easy interface to go in and figure out how to do this. Adobe Audition, it's not really the tool meant for this job, but it does work. So here is one of the clips. This is the loud E2 that came in here. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. I decrease the sound a little bit so I don't blow your ears out. But if I go ahead and play this, so there's a note in there, but you can see and you can hear there is a ton of noise. So I have like 10 seconds of room that I loaded up into Adobe Audition, and then I told it to learn. I did that capture noise print. Now I'm told it to do this, and actually, let's see advanced. I don't know if I set the quality. I think because I read somewhere you can set a quality so it'll take longer, but it'll be a much better quality. I'll figure that out later. Okay, let me hit apply, and you can see it's already smoothed that out. If I come back to the beginning, a lot of that noise has been removed. So now I got to figure out how to do this for 36 files. It's not going to drive me insane. because I don't want to load each one of these individually up one by one. Stay tuned. Let's see if I can figure this out. All right, everyone. I'm back again, and this time I've decided to, I just said screw it. I did it by hand. So there are, in this file, 36 documents, 36 WAV files. I just did it by hand, each one. It wasn't that bad. I'll probably figure out in the future how to automate it, but I don't want to spend too much time, especially if I don't know what the quality is going to be like. And I really want to get to putting my these WAV files into an instrument and trying to make that work. One other thing I noticed in doing this is that apparently I didn't record at 4,800 hertz or 48,000 hertz. It was like 44.1 or something. So those all got converted to 48,000. Hopefully that's not gonna be an issue. The things you learn. So we'll keep trying at this. Thanks. All right, so now I'm trying to follow kind of these 2 video tutorials on how to make this Kontakt instrument, and something has gone horribly wrong. So if I start playing notes, first thing is I did not do a very detailed job of the start point. I assumed I would fix that at this point. And it's like I play one note. Oh, that one worked. Like, anyway, this is not sounding correct. So what I think I'll do is I'll not try with the template. I'm gonna first try and build one without the Pianobook template, and then I'm gonna try and build one with the Pianobook template. So wish me luck until the next update. It's only 15 minutes to midnight. We'll see if I can get something done tonight. Just to give you an update, it's not going better. I guess the other thing too is I'm using Kontakt 6 because I didn't own Kontakt 5. Anyway, I got some stuff to figure out. So wish me luck. All right, next check-in. It is starting to sound like an instrument. I actually can't tell what keys I'm hitting because my keyboard is currently under my desk. I haven't bothered pulling it out yet because I'm still working in the code or the Kontakt. But we're making progress. This is kind of exciting. Also, before I hit stop recording, I might regret being sloppy. I'm wondering if I should have been super detailed in my cuts to be the starts of my samples in Logic instead of thinking I'll do it in here. We'll see. We'll see how much I regret my decisions here shortly. So I was a little prophetic in my last video because these 2 brilliant gentlemen who know what they're doing, know what they're talking about, watching this YouTube tutorial, definitely, they could easily, because all of the notes started the same spot, make a quick adjustment. We're going to have to go figure out right now how to do that manually. I should have watched this video before recording the piano. And it's like I can go back and do that again because it's actually exactly, as you can see, midnight. And my wife would kill me. So would my children. Let's carry on. All right, this isn't going to be too bad. I just did it for this one. If If I come over here to the higher velocity, all I have to really do is just go in there. Make it even. Go in there. Okay, I'm gonna go do that real quick for all of these. Okay, lesson learned. I'm learning, guys. I'm learning. All right, you guys. I went through now. I just adjusted all of those. So now. I know it's out of tune. In fact, we're calling a person to come tune it soon. But it's kind of like my first hello world. When you're programming, the first application you write is a program that you just say hello world, and that's what you do. This is my hello world. Okay, I still have a couple things I have to do. Keep following the tutorial. In fact, I'm only like 7 minutes of 26 minutes in. But this is so cool, guys. This is really cool. Okay, focus. Gotta get stuff done. All right, now we're to the point where I can go in and set the velocity. So as I play, in fact, did these guys do it? Yeah. So as I play super soft, it should sound super soft. And if I play, and then the velocity match when it switches over to you playing the louder of the two samples, it should work. So. This is cool. All right. I'll continue to follow the tutorial. But I think we're getting there. I think we're getting pretty close. All right. It is now 12:30 a.m. in the morning. I have gotten the sustains all done, soft and loud. And now I am working on my the release triggers. And my start times are all over the place. And whereas on the other ones, it was really easy to see where the correct start was, it's not as obvious here. So I might be really, I guess it could be worse. Okay. So let's see how that worked. That is so soft. Let's try this one. Okay. It's so soft. I really do hope that this is good enough. Okay. I'll just come through. I mean, you guys can get to see me do my wonderfulness. Look, that's a nice clear one. These are so soft. It'll be interesting to see how well this works. All right, I'm gonna start recording and finish this up and continue with the video tutorial. So in the video, they talk about how there is no undo and to be careful about when you're editing groups and whatnot. And somehow I missed a step. And to do selected groups only. So I got my releases in, which is cool. They're super soft. I might have to like find a way to boost them. Like I can like barely hear them. But I screwed up and I deleted all my sustains. So now I'm debating. It's 12:43. We're gonna push on and redo all that work. God. Okay. Wish me luck. All right, so I was fortunate enough to at least have saved before deleting my sustains. And so technically, I could let's see here. So this is the version that has my sustains, and this is the version that I deleted them all and has my release triggers. So technically, if I have both playing, they'll both come in. Oh, and that bug is happening. Anyway, and I can really boost so you can hear the sustains. Ooh, that's probably too loud, but. So I need to. So it's 12:46. What I need to do is redo all of that release trigger stuff back on this instrument. Oh, you guys. Poop. Let's do it. Let's soldier back on. We can do this. Okay. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Guys, it wasn't that bad. It's 12:53. Still, we haven't hit quite 1 o'clock in the morning. I was hoping to wake up in 5 hours to go walking, but we'll see how that goes now. But I present to you, everyone, my hello world to the Pianobook community. All right, and now we're back to the present, which the irony is that I ended up probably spending 5 to 10 times longer figuring out how to make the video in Adobe Premiere Pro and stitching everything together and figuring out how to just do this whole video thing that I spent on the Kontakt library. But that's how it goes. So I thought I'll show you the final product. I went and did a few more changes, and then I uploaded it today to Pianobook. All right, well, here we go. We have Pianobook. So yeah, today I went and I did a few more final touches on this Kontakt instrument and submitted it. I went ahead and took a cool little fancy picture, made it black and white, and put a little sticky note on our piano saying "Hello World." And the other thing I had to do is that on the release triggers, I had a problem where when I pressed it, it's fine, released it was fine, but then at the end of the release trigger, I would get a click of the sample. There'd be a click, and so I had to go in and change, do a fade out on each one of the release triggers, so that way I would get clicking at the end of the sample playing. But yeah, hopefully you guys will enjoy it. It's not the best piano to record, but I learned a ton. And I just want to say thank you to Christian and all the others in the community, everyone who's uploaded videos on how to do all sorts of different recordings and create these instruments. It's been super helpful. And I hope this isn't, my last video. Hopefully this experience of learning how to do this hasn't scarred me to the point where I'm like, oh my gosh, I never want to try and put another video together again. It is now 1 a.m. It's 1:35 a.m. Monday morning. I have work soon. And I guess I'll leave you all with this. But I will share the story. All right, here's the story with the piano. So we were, not newlyweds, but we were married for a couple of years. And we wanted to get, as I touch the mic, we wanted to get a piano. But we weren't quite in the budget. We were like, we're not going to worry about it. My wife's grandma had a friend who was moving. And so she reached out and said, hey, my friend's moving. She's willing to sell her piano. And would you be interested in buying it? And so she texted me and said, hey, my grandma's friend was selling the piano. Here's how much. And do you want to do it? Well, I remember, I saw the text message and it said $7,000. And I was like, there is no way we're going to pay $7,000 for a hand-me-down piano. And I was like, that's way too much. And so she's like, no, we're not interested in it. Well, my wife's grandmother was very insistent. And apparently I found out I had committed to saying, no, we were going to buy that piano. And I was like, there's no way we're paying that much. And so for several weeks, my wife and I had discussions around, this piano. And I was like, there's no way we're paying that much. And she's like, well, I know it's a lot, but we can find it. I have some money in the savings and we can make this work. And I was just like, and we just, I'm like, if we're going to spend that much, let's save a little bit more and buy an awesome baby grand or something. Let's not, overpay for this, what I thought was like a mediocre piano. You guys have all heard it. It's a fine piano, but it's not a $7,000 piano. And so, this debate kind of went on for several weeks until finally she texted me and said, look, I wrote the check. We got some money in the savings. Some piano movers are going to be dropping it off on this date. It's done. And I was like, okay. And it was kind of the sore spot for us for years. And this is 8 years ago. So a year ago, so 7 years after this $7,000 piano that I still couldn't believe we spent that much money on this piano. And it's not like we had, and I was like, man, like where did we have this $7,000 laying around? Finally, one day I just kind of made a joke. I was like talking about our $7,000 fleecing that we got earlier in our marriage. And my wife looked at me, she's like, wait, $7,000? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, no. It was $700. And all of a sudden I realized, aside from that initial text message and whether my brain added a zero or her finger added the zero, we paid $700 for that piano, which makes way more sense. And it's not too bad. It's not an unfair price, $700 for that piano. It's in pretty good condition. And we need to go get it tuned, but $700, okay, that's pretty reasonable. For 7 years, I thought we paid $7,000 for that and thought, I can't believe we got fleeced because your grandma forced us into buying her friend's piano. And my wife went on 7 years thinking like, I can't believe my husband has been a total a-hole about spending $700 on a piano that, okay, maybe we could get $500 for it or something. But, he's been a complete jerk for 7 years about this. So now we laugh mostly and about this story. So that's the story behind our King upright piano and how it became the biggest contention sore spot probably in our entire marriage. Over literally a magnitude of order difference of price. And so now you guys can enjoy what I thought was definitely not a $7,000 piano, but it's an acceptable $700 piano. Anyway, thank you everyone. Enjoy your evening. I am done with this video. There's probably other little mistakes and stuff in it. I'm just going to hit render, or whatever the term is in Adobe Premiere, and upload this to YouTube, and we'll go from there. Thanks again.